Hi everyone. Okay, so Star Wars marketing, what's the link? It's kind of a weird one. It kind of came about because I was having a bit of a head flu one night. I had a fever and I said, you know what I'm going to do for this Ignite thing? Marketing and Star Wars, let's put them together. Brilliant. So why for me have I done that? I'm a marketing person. I have been ever since I've graduated from university. I'm always been in the marketing field, and I now lead a team of marketing execs nationally at Data3. Data3 are all about taking technology solutions to businesses here in Australia. We do that through technology from HP, IBM, Microsoft, those sort of guys. We're actually number one for all of those vendors here in Australia. So talking about how marketing works is really important when you start thinking about Star Wars. So why Star Wars is because Star Wars is this great, it's the epitome of the good versus evil, right? And when you start thinking about businesses, you start thinking very quickly about how businesses can be good or evil. And when I say that, I don't mean necessarily that, you know, there are businesses out there that are grinding up little children and selling it as a product. I mean, they're evil in that they're not serving their customers properly. They're not being everything they should be to their people who, at the end of the day, make that business work. And to understand why a business can be good or evil in that sense, it's good to understand why a business, or what a business actually is. At the end of the day, you've got hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in this organisation just doing their job. They have these little bits of pieces and things that they do 9 to 5 every day. And what they can mean is that they kind of lose vision, they kind of lose focus of what they're there and what they're all about. So that's where without this vision and without this focus around the customer and the outcomes of what we're trying to deliver through these gigantic organisations that spend millions and millions of dollars, we can end up at a point where, you know, we're kind of like this guy. We've got hindsight all of a sudden, we realise what we haven't even delivered to an outcome. And the important thing about marketing is that it's all about people. It's all about the customer that we serve, right? So that's our job within an organisation, is to be that little annoying person who sits there and pokes every person in the organisation, every person on a board, and every person we work with, from suppliers and everyone, and says, what about this guy? Peel off the mask, peel off the words that we associate with customers and audiences and all the rest, and remember that it's about a person. And it's our role as an organisation and marketing within there to make sure that we're delivering that good outcome. Because at the end of the day, businesses are crap at doing that. They forget about it. We have all this stuff we talk about, EBIT and profit and, you know, go-to-market strategies and all the rest of it, and we forget about the fact that we're talking to people, you and I and everybody else, right? So what does that make marketing in this whole sense, and how does that then turn into Star Wars? Kind of a weird thing. At the end of the day, that means that we're the good guys, right? We're the guys who are fighting the good fight, and we're trying to get this message across to the people we work with, the organisations. We're Betty White with the 2-star lightsabers, you know, fighting the good fight. So I think what I'm trying to get to through all of this is just that it's a focus that all of us, and you don't have to work in marketing, you don't have to have a really senior role within an organisation to be able to influence this way. Everything that you do, everybody here has a job, right? You work from 9 to 5 and probably more hours than that. But how often do you sit down and think about what you're doing every day and how that then influences your customer? Or how often do you think about what you're doing in terms of keeping your organisation going and actually getting an outcome? And that's what marketing is really about, it's about outcomes. So you see a lot of models about, you know, 4 Ps and all this sort of stuff, but really what we're doing is about delivering outcomes, and we do that through the right places and at the right time. So that's all really simple. It's really easy to get. I don't think I've broken any sort of, you know, known goods. So why are there evil companies out there? Why are there organisations who aren't serving their customers the right way? Why do we have people like this who are like, buy my stuff and do it now? I come home from TV and I go and turn the TV on, I'm listening to a commercial where there's someone yelling at me. I'm in my bedroom, I'm in the lounge room, and he's telling me about the sale that's on Saturday. Oh my God, you got to be there. I don't want to be spoken to like that. Do you want to be spoken to like that? Why are we speaking to our customers like that? Why are we speaking to the people who we depend on like that? So it's really, you know, every time you have an organisation like that who's doing that sort of thing, there's some really frustrated, poor marketing soul who doesn't have these things. He's not getting the access he needs. He doesn't have the commitment from the organisation, and he doesn't have this all-encompassing force that he needs to be able to do stuff. So when you start thinking about an organisation and what role we can play in making it good or evil, think about what you can do in that, even if you're not in marketing. So hopefully we can make that little stormtrooper a good stormtrooper and not a bad one. Thanks, guys.